Hey, everyone. Now look, this is the way my day's been. You know what? I had premonitions about the tsunami thing that could possibly hit the Washington coastline and could affect the local neighborhood of Camas and Washougal, the way I look at it. And also, I just want you to know that, I had, when all this had happened on Friday the 13th, I just want you to know that I went through so much stuff that all of this, I thought all of this was just wiped out by a tsunami. I took a staff, Ernie Toback's staff, and I hit the ground so hard. Whack, 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 whack. And you know what? I ended up cutting that staff in half, cutting the staff of the evil one. Cut it in half, and I'll tell you what, God and Satan and Eve and everybody was impressed because I had solar power. I didn't even use their power out there when I came down to doing this that night. I didn't even plug my motorhome in when I pulled back in that driveway, going out that way as fast as I did. This motorhome never been driven that fast before or that hard. It didn't have to have brake work done on it after I did this from Alex at Four Seasons, and I paid the full price. I told him I waived the brakes on this because why? I put this fucking truck right through jeopardy, getting up there, just get up there fast. This was what was going on with me. And I'll tell you, starting out on that day, when I came down from Denver Lane, that Susan Donahoe started calling me just as I got right there at that Chevron station. How the fuck did she know that I was in town and fuck there? Why? Well, she's been tracking me on my goddamn phone, and she told me about tracking people on their phone at 1007th Street back in 2014. That woman definitely targeted me, and so did the law enforcement community was involved in it. That's just no shit. You should pay up the DB Cooper money, you should pay up the Zodiac money, you should pay up everything. And by the way, like I said, you shouldn't worry about where the money's coming from. You can wipe out your goddamn pensions, because if you get wiped out by a tsunami down here, you're not going to ever get to that pension day. I'm just telling you the fact. The Holy Father would like to have his money put in that fucking bank. He considers his money, my money, his money. He wants me to be like Jack Benny. Those people down at the bank, the Radiant One, and Darian, and the ladies that work there, that woman, the Radiant One, she's probably going to be the one that's going to be in charge of that money, because I never want to see it. But God requires it to be paid. God will probably destroy this whole fucking area, is what my thought is. And he's holding you hostage, and you're no match for him and all that goddamn shit. And let me tell you, he wants me to move out towards Stevenson, and I came down here, I got some supplies and stuff. I stopped in at a couple places. I love seeing the people that I see. Like Wendy down there that got her hair cut. You looking great. You're gonna get hit on 10 times as much as before, maybe even 20. That's right. Wendy just says, coming from you, I believe it. Like that. I mean, she's really super nice. She says, you just make my day happy. I said, you made my day happy by just being here, Wendy. And that goes for the rest of you. I don't want your jobs. I just want everybody to do their jobs well. I said, Wendy, you know what I like? When I come down here and everybody's got smiles on their face, and that's why smiles on their face, that's good for me. And by the way, when you friction the Holy Father, Eve, Satan, like that through me, it's just gonna goddamn backfire on you. Now, if you get this fucking tsunami and it washes out Camas and it hits that fucking paper mill, like I think it could, it's going to hit those people at the U.S. Bank, and I am not going to be fucking happy about that. So I really wish you guys wouldn't friction me, because if there is a tsunami, I want you to goddamn avoid it. And another thing is, in my vision, there was these fucking boats from down here, at the port where they pissed me off and I can't even dump my motorhome. Matter of fact, I haven't dumped my motorhome, even known that I can go down there if I want. Why? So they could just goddamn call the cops on me again for fucking nothing? Well, you'll get the fucking rock fucking thrown right through your fucking city. I mean, god damn, he wants to throw rock right through your fucking city and Washington, D.C. too. I wonder if this is like Sodom and Gomorrah. Hey, the Holy Father's got a 2 fucking state solution. You get rid of Susan Jane Donahoe, or this is going to be your 2 state fucking solution, I think. And I'm not kidding either. And what else? I just fucking seen damage so fucking bad on Friday the 13th of last year. Was I seeing the stuff that was in the future? You know, I'm starting to goddamn think maybe it's quite possible that all that fucking damage that I seen is gonna fucking come to fucking bite us in the goddamn ass. And by the way, I said I fucking live here too, you guys. You know, I like people. I don't necessarily want them snuffed out. God tells me that I own the fucking earth, and what I say fucking goes. And by the way, I don't like the situation. All that I want is everybody to put Yahshua inside the cup, outside the cup, clean up your fucking garbage around your fucking homes, and become normal. Don't act normal, become normal. Cops, you do your shit right from the fucking book. It's Yahshua inside the cup, Yahshua outside the cup. And you know, the more things change, the more things stay the same. But you know, the Sunday worshipers that are on Sunday, you know, God's not too happy about that. And the fact that they do their you know, their drink to the little blood of the Jesus is a big problem with the Holy Father like that. They've sold their souls down the river, and these here people won't back out because they've been blinded into a cult. They can't admit that they've been goddamn deceived by the devil. Oh, it can't be us. We can't be the ones that's deceived. We'll go down as a whole goddamn nation. And what you're doing is you're playing Russian roulette with the Holy Father, the Holy Son, the Holy Spirit, Satan, Eve, and matter of fact, yours truly, John T Wright, right here at YouTube. Guy pulled up right here. He's looking right here. He's looking really funny. He's looking at his Porsche, I believe. He's probably showing it off to me. Maybe he's going to be hitting on me soon. Should we wait and watch on this one? Because this is sometimes how the old men do it, man. I got this nice Porsche down here, and the next thing you know, he's knocking on my door and he wants to buy me water. I'm doing you a favor, man. I'm doing you a favor. No, Sharona, I need you now. Oh, I just love it when I go into Mitch's place, and Mitch owns the place, you know, Goldfinger, and I come in and I start talking to him like Betty's the employer and she's overworking him and she won't give him time off and stuff like that. You know, Mitch owns the place and he wants to get out of here for a week or 2 at a time. And I said, I don't even know if she's going to call you back once you get out of here this next time, because you know how Betty is. You know, she likes to fire people right and left, and I think you might be next, Mitch. Mitch is just laughing his ass off as I do that. And the girl at the Twin Star Credit Union, I was telling her about, you know, my premonition and stuff, and she lives close to St. John's, and over there at St. John's, it's a high spot right there, and she said it is a high spot, and she was thinking about going that way if a tsunami hits. And I told her about the whole thing and everything. I asked her what her name was, and I said I'd pray for her, and boy, I tell you, when I left her side, I just talked to God on the way down the road, you know, about this here woman. She's really nice to me and she's special to me, you know, and I don't want nothing to happen to her, and I want her to get well and feel better and stuff like that. And she was surprised that I went around the Twin Star and I came back around, because she was sitting in her car and she had a mask on, and she's a great person. She's a mentor of mine. And so is Diane at Twin Star, and we talked about Twin Star, and boy, I'll tell you what, you know, you guys know that I told you about Twin Star Credit Union. Now, I told you about Twin Star Credit Union being Twin County Credit Union, and my attorney, James L. Rowland, set it up, and he walked Jerry Moore up the trail in Centralia, Washington. on Seminary Hill, and he walked him up the trail and he got himself killed. Some say it was murder, some say it was suicide. James Rowland in his office started extorting money from me when he found out that bowling alley was my family's connection to the whole thing. He just looked up in the sky and he just talked about it, and I put these on YouTube. So now this Twin Star Credit Union, now it's got affiliated, and remember I've been saying the Zodiac disappears in the park? My dad says the beauty's in the name and everything. And I went over there and I found out the Twin Stars Credit's new name, and it's called Peak Credit Union, and that almost looks like Park Credit Union to me. Peak, you get the peak? Do you get the point? And remember I was telling you about my lawyer and that whole thing about Plymouth Rock, and on my lawyer's building, how it has the points on it, and you get the point and you get the peak. Now I'll tell you what, my attorney's office is the same shape as that bowling alley. My dad told me that the beauty's in the name, and I'll tell you what, I think that this here place right here, hey, it's a great credit union to do business, but this here bank can be laundering money and actually doing what they're doing. She told me how many, there's other credit unions got added to this. She told me how long she worked at Peak, 6 years, and she also, Diana, and then she came over here, and you know, we got Peak, and we got Arc in this here too, you know, Arc. Now in Park there's Arc, well there's almost Arc in that too, by the way, and this here could be just a bunch of animals and doing their thing. The Zodiac disappeared in the park. And do you see the connection? And by the way, I've been connected to this Peak, to this Twin Star Credit Union, to this Twin County Credit Union since 1979, I believe, or whenever it opened, 81. When I worked at Cascade Hardwood, I got involved in that, and they told us we got this here credit union going. They said they did. You know, they're friends and stuff. And by the way, Roland, he got his start right there in Lewis County, Washington. He told me, did I tell you where I got my start? And he started telling me about this whole goddamn thing. And by the way, is this credit union connected to criminal activities? Well, it's very questionable. The Zodiac disappeared in the park. And I told the lady that I was praying to about this whole thing. And I also pointed it out to Diane. It's so funny that they named it Peak and I've been calling it Park. And this here, there's connected to the Zodiac and Murder in the Dark. You know, that's my fucking book. And by the way, do you get the fucking point? My attorney's office, it's an inside job, the Washington Department of L&I. And by the way, they never paid me the correct amount. They paid me the low ball thing. My attorney James L. Rowland. You know, I mean, I feel like I've been ripped off there too. Now, there's a fucking big tsunami in here that's going to wipe out all these goddamn credit unions. That's bad. Well, the Holy Father sees it. Satan and Eve sees it too. And I've been saying from the river to the sea all along. And if I say it's so, it's so. Because God so told me. And here's my dad. Here's my dad, the Zodiac. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you want to see a better picture of my dad? Right there's even a better picture of my dad. And by the way, you want to see the coffee cup? I'd get the coffee cup too. How do you like your cookies? Do you like chocolate chip cookies? Now, the whole thing is I've been saying that from the river to the sea and that whole goddamn thing. I knocked the fuck out of that Bible. Look at that. Boy, I tell you, I think we're in trouble, by the way. I couldn't touch this red writing. I was condemned, you guys. I could not touch this stuff. And this is biblical, I goddamn tell you that for sure. God says, God says he wants obey, not eBay. Bonnie and Ernie should have talked about. Anyway, God's so nice, he tells me, if I say it so, it will be so. Okay, I want this over because I give it over to the Holy Father now. Well, if I say it so, it will be so. It's just like I said, you breathe my air that I'm breathing, and the ozone layer seems to be depleting faster. They say that it's got a bigger hole than they thought, and you know, all that good shit. And if I say it so, it will be so. And the twin star credit union and the Zodiac was hiding in the park. Is there anything to all this here? Is all this here foul play so widespread it's gonna finally come to an end, and we're gonna do these dirty dastardly bitches that's been undermining the United States of America right here under the tutelage of the Republican Party? Well, they fucking ripped me off, and I goddamn say, vengeance says mine, saith the Lord. The Holy Father says me, you know, watch out, get up on high ground. I mean, when I go out of town, the likelihood that something bad's going to happen goes up. When I come to town, the likelihood that something is going to happen goes down. You shouldn't have treated me fucking bad in this place, and you should have fucking told the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Anybody that says anything about 1007th Street, Susan Jane Donahoe's had the luxury of fucking rubbing shit in the Holy Father's face, or in the Holy Father's face. That's what I mean. Fuck me. The Holy Father's furious, and so is Satan and Eve over the whole goddamn deal. That's why I'm saying Camas Law Enforcement. That's at 2100 3rd Avenue, and you add that up, it's 246666. Bang, the Zodiac. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, that's the way that goddamn works. Light 8 cigarette butts on a 727. Donald J. Trump actually collects 727s, by the way. And A through Z, 1 through 26, 1 through 26, John T Wright, Donald J. Trump, and you'll find out that there's a parallel between the two of us. And it's been handed over to the Holy Father now, and the Holy Father will be taking care of business accordingly. So it's Yahshua inside the cup, Yahshua outside the cup is what I know from Satan and Eve and the Holy Father and everything that's holy, and all the angels that are fallen that has talked to me in the past, and I'm sure I could name some of them off. And I'll talk to you later. Who loves you? Well, the one that's trying to just pull back and understand everybody, like he's everyone's psychologist. I have to see the whole picture, and to say if one's guilty, they're all guilty, or I want to throw it all out of court and they're all expunged and saved. At the end of the day, that's how ultimately it would like to be, but if it's not that way, it won't be, is what I'm getting out of it too. And I told the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and I have the luxury of talking to you. And if I don't talk to you, the Lord won't be talking to you, because Adam is the Lord. Adam and Yahshua is the same, one and the same. But this is Adam right now, but I'm Adam and I'm Yahshua. It's the same thing, is what I'm saying. Now, Yahshua will be back in 4024 on 10/17/4024, and there's also an additional document that you'll find in the videos that you see here at DBCC's BS. And when God comes in, you'll know it, because it'll be all over the news stations that still are in existence, because some of them may be just tilled under the ground. God says he will kill everyone around me. He'll till the earth under around me. And you know, this is the Adam and Eve effect, is what this is. It's the Adam and Eve effect is what's going to send this here earth back to almost Stone Age time. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of knowledge, and there'll be some people still alive, because a lot of people may end up very, very well dead. Or maybe God will be kind to us by just cleaning up our fucking act immediately. And it's Joshua inside the cup, Joshua outside the cup. Maybe these here churches would like to get out of their cult relationship that they're having with this Sunday worship, because they find out they've been unplugged. They don't have the magic in their church that they used to. Oh, that old black magic's gone away from you, for sure, for sure, for sure. Why? Because pretty much, bam, 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 the Holy Father used me and I shot the sheriff, you could say, so to speak. And by the way, no trick photography here. Here's my dad's cup. There's Jerry Wright's face there. See? Just want to tell you. You know, these guys put me under terrible circumstances beyond my control, and the Holy Father's going to get even for each and every one of these bitches. Because why? Well, I just can't get over some things. We have to have people punished, and they're gonna eat some scoops of shit. Before it's over, you're gonna get the fucking red writing for sure. And I'm gonna have a shot of whiskey while you're burning down. Pretty much, that's the way it's gonna do. And I'm gonna spin my little thing, and I'm going to race my little car. And who loves you? I do. And if not, I wouldn't be here trying to talk with us.